this situation was the problem of Iran, the center of Shia Islam, and a bitter rival of Saudi Arabia, the dominant Sunni Muslim nation in the region. These tensions had helped to fuel conflict on the Arabian Peninsula, especially in Yemen. Iran also promoted unrest in Saudi's eastern province, where a Shia minority population lived. My diwania happened just a few months after a Shia shrine in eastern Saudi Arabia was attacked by masked gunmen. More important, the Saudis were also widely aware that the Obama administration had made a recent geopolitical pivot toward Iran and was negotiating a nuclear disarmament and peace treaty with that country's leadership. Many Saudis viewed this act as a historic betrayal of their special relationship with the United States. Then, to top it all off, I was in Dammam following Donald J. Trump's announcement of his first presidential campaign, when he began making inflammatory statements about Muslims. By the end of 2015, he had called for a total ban on all Muslims entering the United States. As one might imagine, the combination of America's high-level discussions with Iran, the Trump candidacy, and a recent attack on a Shia shrine might make this not the most propitious time to be drinking Arabic coffee in the eastern province of Saudi Arabia. Perhaps it was also not a great time to offer vaccine diplomacy as a meaningful response to heightened tensions between our two nations. On the other hand, I was incredibly energized and excited. After all, when would I get another opportunity like this to embark on a vaccine diplomatic mission? Certainly, I thought, U.S.-Saudi relations were not nearly as challenging as U.S.-Soviet relations were in the years immediately following the Sputnik launch in 1957, when Dr. Sabin began his partnership to develop the polio vaccine. For me, a watershed moment in my diplomatic visits occurred when a senior Saudi official came up to me in a reassuring way. He spoke to me specifically about the Trump Muslim ban and said something more or less along the following lines. "Peter, we're not too worried. We realize these statements are nonsense. Look, I did my Ph.D. at Iowa State University. For years I lived with a family in Ames, Iowa. I loved every minute of it. I know how the real Americans think. Everything will be fine." It was then I realized how America's research universities and institutes rank among our greatest national treasures and provide an important and promising face for our nation. I gave him a big hug, in part because his remarks broke the tensions and I was relieved, but also because it reinforced my conviction that our scientists and science prowess represent the best of America and the side we must present to the world. I made several visits to Saudi Arabia in 2015 and 2016, which ultimately resulted in an important and new vaccine collaboration between our laboratory at Texas Children's Hospital and Baylor College of Medicine and King Saud University. We are exploring additional collaborations, possibly including the King Abdullah University of Science and Technology, considered the Saudi version of MIT. However, Saudi Arabia is just one nation, and there were many others where increasingly I saw diseases return through war or political instability, or nations where diseases are now returning because of other 21st century forces. I benchmark 2015 as the year when infectious and tropical diseases began this new ascent. This book reports on how war, political instability, climate change, and other determinants, such as anti-science movements, combine in unique and interesting ways to introduce or bring back disease. It also describes how vaccine diplomacy might offer new and innovative solutions. An unexpected shift. Just a few years ago, many of us in the global health policy community were thrilled at the prospect of eliminating catastrophic infectious and tropical diseases. The year 2015 was approaching, and we would soon complete one of the most ambitious global development initiatives ever undertaken. 15 years earlier at the United Nations, UN headquarters in New York, world leaders convened to launch a set of Millennium Development Goals, MDGs, in order to rescue the bottom billion. The term referred to an estimated 1 billion people who remained trapped in poverty, living on an income at or below the World Bank poverty level, which at the time was $1 per day.